Let's talk about the self-loaded leg press. Before leg press machines were around, you do it with a bar, of course. A lot of people get a little freaked out thinking this is a little sketchy. I got 45s on here and a 45-pound bar. It's going to sink in right below the ball of each foot. That's where I'm going to place the bar, and it's going to sink and kind of hook right into the ball of the foot. So no matter what, once I get up around here or more, so 135 is no big deal. It's going to get hooked behind the balls of the feet, and it's not going to go anywhere until I make it go anywhere. It can't just roll. It's sunk into the shoes. And these are Chuck Taylors. Like, it's not a soft-soled shoe at all. So I believe it was George Hackenschmidt, world champion weightlifter and wrestler, who would pull the weight over and then press it. And then another world champion wrestler and world champion weightlifter, Arthur Saxon, he would bridge it or push, it's called. So I'm just sliding on under. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a push, as it was called back in the day, with the hips. So you get under it, you're going to bridge or push the weight to arm's length. And that's it right there. Now it's hooked in behind my feet, the balls of my feet. It's not really going to go anywhere, you know. So if you're going to use more of a narrow stance, so you're not really going to get much range of motion. So what I tend to do is I tend to let it come forward a little bit, let the hips come up, and come back. So I'm going to and come back. I usually don't go that narrow. I go a little, I'll move it out even a little more. This is only about 140 pounds, but so then I can sink more, and I can just stay straight up and down. Don't move the hips at all. Just keep it all on the legs. So it's really going to stretch your upper hamstrings, your groin. Okay, but if I decide to let the hips roll up, now I'm going to kind of come down, and almost like I'm going around the corner, I'm going to and push back up. Okay. Now, if you're going to try to, you're going to, I'm trying to move the legs in. If you're going to let the hips stay up the whole time, like that, so yeah, you're going to have a hard time with that. That's why you'd see the old circus performers. They would have a wedge or an incline under their hips, and the circus performers would do balancing acts like this. They would take tables or long tables, and they would, or balls, and twirl them around, move them around with just their feet, but their hips would be on a wedge or an incline. So if you're going to try to have your hips up the whole time, you are going to have a hard time balancing. So I usually just keep it right about there where I am, and I just rep out this way. Sometimes I'll let it come forward. Depends on what groove I'm feeling. Letting the hips come up a little bit really stretches the back out. You got a tight back. But as you can see, I got a lot of movement here, and that bar is not moving off my feet at all. Okay? So, like I said, I usually just, it's enough for me to stay just straight up and down. Move the knees out so I can get deeper. And that's really it. And you're limited by how much you can get to your feet with your hands. So it's not like I'm ever going to be able to get more weight up here than my legs can handle. Like, even when I'm getting over 300 pounds up on the bridge into my feet, I'm still able to get 12 reps easily. So it's really never should tire you out. Like, it's never going to be more than your legs can handle. You think of how much we do calf raises with? Yeah, this is never going to be nothing. How many of us use way more than 300 pounds on calf raises, right? So when it's time to come down, I can either come down and just get it into my hands, and put it down, or I can just lean. But if you look at how far I'm going to go before this actually falls out of my feet, you can see it's a the dismount is safe. The whole thing is safe because you're just not going to use way more weight than your legs can handle, and the weight is going to sink into your shoes once you're up to using 45s on your side and some collars. So it's like 135, 140, somewhere in there. So it's something you can do at home. And if you need to ditch it for whatever reason, you can either push it away from you that way or land it overhead. Either one. But really, it's something worth trying. Feel it out. And right now, it's burning in here because it's just worked my groin muscles, and just stretched them out and worked them pretty hard. So also is going to get a lot of stuff going on in your feet that you don't normally get, and in your ankles. So there's a lot of good. If you're looking at all around fitness, all around strength, there's a lot for this stuff for you. You can do it letting the hips come up to stretch your back out. There's a lot of good stuff going on here, and I really would recommend it. So if you get a chance, try it out. Let me know how it goes. Take care, and God bless.